After we were rudely interrupted, after we were just rudely interrupted having a conversation here. But look, we having a whole lot of fun, having amazing guests. Well, I think it's best to jump right into it. Hello, all, and welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Jackson Jr. Devin Lee Crimes alongside me. Devin, how's you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic on this Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all fathers.
Happy Father's Day to all fathers. Yeah, that's true. And of course, we have an amazing father with us as well. Get your just coming through. How is you living, my brother?
Yo. Just want to say happy Father's Day, to all the poppies out there. Daddy's home for days. But yeah, I appreciate the invite and letting me slide through. And I'm ready to talk some wrestling and some other stuff. So let's do this.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. You're always welcome. Look, we left the back door open, and it will always remain open for you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Always remain open. But first,
appreciate that.
Look, it's starting right now. It's actually starting right now. Yeah, I was like, look at that. Yeah, now I'm about to be on you. Now we gotta talk about this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to do this when we have a guest here. We usually handle this, one-on-one. Oh, this has to be aired out.
He in a gap.
Yeah, we left the back door open. He's engaged in the conversation now. Just it seems as though Devin has been a little distracted these past couple shows. The last episode, just head down, but he has a smile on his face. I ain't never seen somebody look down with a smile on their face, unless it's So we finally, after me doing my investigative research, turns out Devin has a little lady friend. Devin, is this true? Is there a lady friend that has been distracting you while this podcast has been going forth?
This is true. This is true.
This is true?
Yes. There's no lies. No lies detected. You did thorough investigative work. Batman should move over because you're the world's greatest detective. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't make it that hard to find out. Yeah. That was the reason for my constant smiling. So shout out to you, Samantha. That's yeah. All right, come on now.
I'm sorry,
turn off the lights.
Yeah, because I'm like going off about John Cena, Seth Rollins. I'm like, man, I'm just seeing if I could get this man attention. He wasn't focused at all. This man had nothing but love on the mind.
No, not
I was floored. Staring at his phone, eyes big, huge. I thought I saw the look of the lips a couple times.
Wow.
Outside of all that, we do appreciate Devin for sliding on here. We've actually been really, really consistent so far. And Devin, look, we already have the show lined up. Where do you want to go?
Where do I want to go? I thought, okay, I'm good. I promise. You want to talk about my boy John Cena, my hero,
your
anti-hero?
Your hero, John Cena. Well,
I'm kidding. You know what? I'm sorry. Can we talk about his villain? I'm sorry. I know. I went down one avenue, then I was like, you know what? Skirt.
Yeah, your U-turns are vicious. Your U-turns are just insane. No, where do you want to go?
No, I want to talk about Ron Killings, the rise of Ron Killings. That's what I want to talk about. Ron Killings. Because it's more to that than John Cena right now.
Yeah, honestly. To me. Well, John Cena came out and said that, hey, man, y'all opened up y'all voices. Y'all raised your voices, pretty much for a jobber, for a sideshow act. And now this sideshow act is beating the brakes off of John Cena, and I'm loving every bit of it. Just, are you loving this Ron Killings character that we're seeing right now? Because in his words, he's in the driver's seat now, and he's looking good.
I like it. I mean, it's nice because Ron Truth has always kind of been someone to change his character and flip it, right? And so, as you know, he's always made whatever he does work. I mean, the 24/7 title should have not worked, but it worked. All the man can do is just make things work. Now, I don't know how I feel about him cutting his hair on ITV, especially like I know there's been a lot of people that like it took years to grow the length of the hair like that, and just to cut it all away and I know that hurt somebody.
That's
I agree,
Going
but
for it.
I tried and I try to grow my hair and it never succeeds. So for him to get to that point and then just let it go, that goes to show you that he didn't snap. He done. He like, all right, that's it. They let me go for a hot second. I had to think about my life for a minute. I personally really love everything we've gotten. Aside from him cutting his hair on TV on the table, because I'd be sitting there, I'm Michael Cole. I'm like, well, who gonna pick this up? He over here cutting his hair. I thought this was an announce table. I didn't think it was a barber chair.
See,
Where's the basketball talk at?
I'm glad you
where's
said
the
that.
broom? Where's the broom?
Yeah, I'm like, nobody sweep that stuff up.
I'm glad you said that though. Like, who gonna pick that up? Because like I feel like that's R-Truth's reaction. Because if of course word around town, R-Truth, he gets released or his contract wasn't renewed, fans are chanting, "We want Truth." WWE is just calling him. He looking at his son like, who gonna pick that up? Like I ain't getting that. That ain't me. So they have to wait till pretty much Tony Khan gives him the phone call. I mean, Tony Khan, excuse me, Nick Khan. Nick Khan gives him the phone call. Tony Khan, no, I'm sorry. I don't think Tony Khan would have been able to get R-Truth. I think R-Truth loyalty lies with WWE. But then again, money talks. I don't want to put words, but but R-Truth I think is doing some solid work here, and I do think this is going to lead to something at least solid at least in the mid card division. That's at least something I want to see. I don't really need to see anything main card from R-Truth, at least not anytime soon. But man, I think he can rock and roll in this mid card division, and I think he could do some damage. I think it'll be real solid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what about? Do you all like the idea of him taking the title off of Cena?
Oh man, I don't think I'm there yet.
Or having like maybe another run back, at Cena.
That I wouldn't mind. I can't see him getting the championship. That's the only problem, and that's why I hate putting him in a position where he could be right there. And I'm like, nah, I don't see you crossing that line. I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna hype you up to that line, but I can't see you crossing it.
Right.
Well,
right.
Yeah, and I love it. I think it's all about respect. This is all about, man, John Cena's my childhood hero, even though I'm older than the man. Like this, I've looked up to him. I've had all his merch when he was away. He saved he saved me. He saved me before. And yet I help him out. He throws me through an announcement table. He's calling me all these trash names. I gotta get my get back. It's not necessarily I gotta take the title from you. I think I just love it that, hey man, you put some respect on my name, Birdman style. I love it, man.
I like that.
It's like I'm excited to see what Ron Killings has in store, honestly.
No, I mean that's just something I see on the idea that they want. But I don't know if it happens. Okay, that's cool. But I think the fact that we still have him employed in WWE is a bigger thing than the title.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that even goes over to John Cena's title reign. I mean, are you interested in John Cena's title run? Or have you been sports entertained with this title run from John Cena?
Okay, let me ask you all something. So John Cena's reason, because I'm kind of confused still with the reason of him being a heel, and it's like he's mad because he got put into positions that he may not have wanted to do, but because he's just a company guy, he did it anyway, right? So like he's bitching about that, and he's bitching about how many times he had to be the company guy and blah blah blah, how much he had to sacrifice. But it's like you're still going back to your mansion. You're still going back to your like Ferrari,
Facts.
making all this money. So like, why are you mad? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the part that kind of is like I'm not feeling is that I think this heel turn is for the wrong wrestler. Like, if it was somebody like The Miz, or if he complained that he was the company guy and got put into all these positions and he did all these things for WWE, but not looked as the top guy, it made more sense. But John Cena being John Cena and him complaining, that makes no sense to me. I don't know about how y'all feel, but that's kind of what I'm getting out of it.
Ooh, Devin, your thoughts?
Oh, my fault. I was ready. I was like,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
By this being like him saying like, "Oh, this would be my final year. After this, I'm done." He got all these dates and stuff. And then for you to be airing all this on your last year, it's just like, okay. You know, then if he tries to like lay out his plan of like what he was doing, I'm like, no, that still ain't gonna do it. Like I was excited for him to turn heel because it's been almost 20 years plus of him not being a heel. But I mean, it's not really. I get it. The formula is always kind of like if you're gonna be a heel, you're gonna change your music. You're gonna probably come out with some darker clothes. You know, you're gonna change up some stuff. Now he has, but I'm just like, you know, you could have did something else. You come out with. I get it. He wants to still sell the shirts. To me, if you really wanted to be a heel, if you really wanted to ruin wrestling, you would stop selling wrestling shirts. Why would you keep selling wrestling shirts?
He would just sell blank tees.
Just blank tees.
Like just sell a blank t-shirt or something like or come out in a suit like that. Every time he's in an interview outside of wrestling, he's in a suit. Yeah. Why not bring that persona in? Because I mean, John Cena's a totally different kind of person sometimes when he's doing press and talking about Peacemaker or whatever. That's what we should have seen because that's not who he was seeing necessarily all the time for the past 20 years. He could have came out with a suit. Even when The Rock, the whole thing, I'm not going to bring it up, but the potential. When The Rock came in, I'm like, well, shoot, they both, you know, wrestlers turned Hollywood actors. They might as well join up and be like, you know what, we don't need this. We can just go film a movie. Right. People might see it. They might not. But that's what I thought we were gonna get. Not John Cena coming out week by week looking like he always looked, just more depressed. No.
Yep.
See, but I like it though.
I'm with you.
But it could be more to it though.
Like, no, well, I liked it in the beginning. Like in the beginning, I felt like it did make a little bit of sense because, like, from a
in the beginning, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, like he walked out. All this is an unhealthy relationship. You know, like. This is unhealthy. You know, I give and you take and take these. I'm taking pictures with these Make-A-Wish kids. Y'all still booing me. Like, what's going on? You know, it's like, what am I doing? And like, I think after we started seeing him pretty much trying to justify it as it went on and trying to also explain why The Rock isn't in here, trying to explain why Travis Scott keeps popping in here. You know, it's so much variables that they try to justify for when in actuality, John Cena trying to explain everything on Friday just, I think, made it look 10 times worse.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, man, but I love me some John. I can't boo John Cena, man.
I still like it. And I want to like the John Cena heel turn. It's just like, you know, like we were talking about on your other show. It's kind of like Carter 6 right now. Like, I wanted like Lil Wayne, but you know.
It's exactly like Carter 6, man. It is exactly like Carter 6, man.
Oh my
What's that one song on the Carter 6 that is just, oh my God, it's Hot Dog Water. It's like the worst beat, you can ever think.
Oh man, there's so many of those.
I think it's like Peanuts and Elephants or something like that. Like, oh my God.
He said that one song.
That one song. It was that one song. I think it's called like Peanuts, or it was like Peanuts and Elephants, some crazy stuff like that. But no, Lil Wayne was Hot Dog Garbage. I'm sorry, he was Hot Dog Water. I felt bad.
The Carter 6, yeah.
The Carter 6 was brutal.
Was it the Sharks? The Sharks song? Is that the one? Band from New Orleans.
No, it wasn't Sharks. Let me see. Because now I'm gonna be hot thinking about it.
Oh no, I think you're right. It's the last. It's like near the last one. It's Peanuts and Elephants. Peanuts. Well, I ain't gonna say
Peanuts and Elephants.
Yeah, what kind of title?
It was
listening like that. Hey, put on. Hey, DJ.
You know the one I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, but my thing with Lil Wayne. See how everybody was crying like, oh, he should do the Super Bowl. How they gonna cheat him out the Super Bowl? And he performed last year for Jey Uso. He only did one song, and he barely could do that. And as you see, he got
like
a
20
whole
seconds.
album. Barely could do that. Like,
Mhm.
come on, man. Everybody had their time in the sun. Lil Wayne, you had yours. Respectfully,
Mm,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah, looked like he had too
and
much
it's
time
like
in that sun.
not everybody that the Super Bowl is playing at, like at the area or the city, that the rapper or famous person has to perform.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
like
I'm like Vince McMahon.
Eminem's
Just
not
because you
from
from there, you ain't
LA.
gotta win.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. But that's the thing. I mean, I don't even want to think about this because just it makes my stomach turn just thinking about this. But like, say if the Indiana Pacers do win the finals, God forbid, like who would even perform there? Like who would be willing to come to Indianapolis to perform? You know, and for the Indiana Pacers of all people. Like that's my
I
question.
see Usher.
Usher,
Freddie Gibbs.
I just see
oh,
Usher.
gotta get Freddie Gibbs. Gotta get Freddie
Of
Gibbs.
course, man.
I guess I was pushing him more.
Who else are they gonna get?
That's a great point. Freddie Gibbs. Gotta bring Freddie Gibbs in. You know what? You changed my. I kind of want the Pacers to win now. Let's get this Freddie Gibbs concert going.
If that's what it takes.
Oh wow.
Well, before I do want to give a quick shout out. I did reach out to said person, so do want to show a whole lot of love there. But Brittany Brooks actually just had a recent interview with the one, the only Sean Ross Sapp. You know, you love him, you hate him, you love him and hate him, either or. But honestly, this lady has just been absolutely on fire for the longest. Let me click on it actually. But you know, she talks about her returning 4 months after knee surgery, wanted to take part in Dreamwave, of course, Uprising Rumble, and she wants to be part of the WWE ID. She's just doing a lot of great work, and we always talk about the story. Me and Devin we interviewed her, and she was talking about having to get rides to her wrestling events, and afterwards, me and Devin were like, "Wait, how old are you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm 16." We're like, "You're traveling at 16, wrestling at 6." Like me and Devin, we're scared to do backflips. You know, we're not doing back bumps at 21, 22. You know, it's like you're over here doing everything under the sun at 16 years old. Like, so you got to give a whole lot of credit where credit's due. Just want to show some love for her there. And man,
yeah, I mean that's the journey they want to take, right? That's the sacrifice. I mean, you know that story about Roxanne Perez? Like she did the same thing.
yeah,
And like in her graduation, she was in her wrestling gear because she had a show like I think a couple hours after. When she graduated high school, she had a wrestling show. Yeah, that's crazy.
It is.
See, and that's another thing that she mentioned. I don't know if Devin remember this, but she was talking about climbing on the top rope and pretty much going for a moonsault. And she was like, "Hey, like it's in the back of your mind, like, hey, I could break my neck. I could, you know, I could fuck this up. You know, it's like pretty much I could mess this up, but you just got to do it." She was like, you just got to put it in your mind that just do it and it'll work out. Like it's worth it. And I'm like, man, I couldn't even have that mindset at 16. I'm like, no, I'm not doing. I'm a bitch. You know, it's like I'm down. Like, get me out of here.
Maybe the second row. Maybe the second. Maybe
the second row. You know,
exactly. Can I be a manager? Can I be a 16-year-old manager?
Can I be a manager?
It's like, hey, can I bring him out? Let me do something. Like, I don't want to get physical. Just wanted to give her a whole lot of love there. Like, she does some great work.
Yeah,
and,
shout out.
Yeah, I gotta show her some love as well.
Shout out.
But even moving on from John Cena or Ron Killings, don't want to call him as R-Truth, but okay, I do want to talk about this because it's not that I'm gonna get hot talking about it.
It will,
but yeah, I'm gonna get hot talking about it. Let me not lie to y'all. I'm gonna get hot talking about it. Long story short, well, let me just ask you this: Jess, are you a Nikki Bella fan or are you a Bella Twins fan?
In what way?
You
know what I'm saying? That there's a couple ways around it.
Good question. Okay, in terms of in-ring ability, mic skills, just anything of wrestling related. Are you?
So I will say this, right? I will say this. I'm a fan, but if I'm putting like the Bellas in the top 50 women, they're like 48 and 49. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not like I mean, they're not like better than like Bianca Belair or anything like that, but they do make a certain level of respect because of what they were able to do and bring an audience to WWE that wasn't there before. Because when they had Total Divas and the Bella Show, a lot of women that were not into wrestling got into because of that show.
Yeah.
Like my wife knows wrestling and knows the vocab and everything that goes into it, but she got more into it because of the show, the Bella Twins, right? And then I
Really?
know there's a lot of other people, wives and girlfriends, that also got into wrestling because of the Bella also. And so like, yeah, so for them to bring a whole audience into wrestling, that has like a huge amount of like love or respect. So am I a fan? I will say yes. I mean,
Nobody knows.
I will also add, everybody be talking about like the Young Bucks and all these people bringing sneakers into the game. Nikki Bella was there early on.
That's
This
true.
is
That's a
true.
fact.
She was wearing dunks. She had.
Snapbacks.
I mean, I think. I don't want to. I don't want to say that she was the first one, but I know she had kind of brought Mosh, who was the big custom sneaker guy, into WWE because she requested a custom sneaker for her for SummerSlam. So that's how. And then now you see Mosh everywhere. He's doing everybody's some of their ring gear, some of their sneakers. So I'm not gonna say that Nikki Bella started it, but she was definitely ahead of it. And she fine. And she fine. And she fine. And she fine.
And she fine. And she fine. I will give her that. I will. Devin, are you?
But I mean, but everything else. I mean, yeah, is it cringe to watch her sometimes? Yeah, a little bit. But but if they had the same amount of time that the women now, if she was trained by Shawn Michaels and everybody else, they would be way better than they are. But it's just like Bubba Sparks. He has some hits, right? But it's not like he's your favorite rapper.
Got some in there.
Petey Pablo. He's not like my favorite, but he had some hits.
I like this category. I can start putting people in. Like it's just like what you got a couple hits. I like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a few matches I might have liked, but
people don't like the snap era of hip hop. The what's it called? The Little John era of hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Some people don't like that. But listen, that was a time. You know what I'm saying? Them franchise boys, come on.
the
franchise boys is insane. I didn't think I was going to
yes. If I'm comparing them franchise boys to Nikki Bella, yes, I
like me. Oh, I think they like
me. I think they like. Come on, see?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yes, I'm comparing them franchise boys to Nikki Bella. Yes.
we need this for future reference. Shout out to Jay Hendry. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you too, brother. Really appreciate it.
Happy Father's Day. Come on, man. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock star.
Yeah. Man, that was hard, man.
Come on, man. Yeah. Come on. Waka Flocka Flame, yo.
Hey, Waka Flocka.
I'm a.
That's all I remember from 8th grade is Waka Flocka. Like,
yeah, bro. Come on. Took up. Man, Grove Street got a whole lot of money. Bitches want to,
I was like, this is crazy. And then the Carter 4 came out. Oh man, 8th grade year was lit. Like,
what a time! You see what I'm saying? That's their era. That's like the Nikki Bella, Brie Bella era.
That is insane. It does work. The more I think about it. It connect differently with some people. See, like when we was watching when she came out on Monday Night Raw, like people, like women were crying, because they had that connection to it. They had that connection. Hey, look, somebody brings you to tears. There's a connection there where you just need some Kleenex. I don't know, but that's where I'm like, I can't necessarily look at the Bella Twins and look at their time in WWE in the ring, and and try to start changing and be like, well, no, they're not better than Bianca Belair. They're no way better than Rhea Ripley. That's fine.
Right.
I mean, I'm hoping that the next generation is better than whatever that past was. I don't want to look and be like, well, you know what? It was a little bit better back then, but it's a little worse now. I don't mind saying that the way women's are the way the women's wrestling is presented now is better. That's what we should be wanting.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't really take away from the fact, like you said, when people were watching that reality show like Total Divas, the Total Bellas, that was another, group of people that would have never been saying, "Oh, I'm gonna watch Monday Night Raw. Oh, I'm gonna watch Friday Night SmackDown."
Mm-hmm.
But that was what brought them in. So I can't really ever say the impact that they might have not had directly towards me wasn't towards someone else.
Yup.
You right. Because I can even go back to the Brittany Brooks interview. She even mentioned that one of the people that inspired her was the Nikki Bella. I think she posted a couple days ago. Her ring gear was inspired by one of the Bella twins, and it's like, what the hell? Like I was like, I missed something. I was like, I must have, because I couldn't. Her Divas title reign was just hell to me. Like I just remember watching it. Like, is anybody gonna beat this lady? Like, somebody please. Like, I remember that being like the worst time for me watching at that point in time the quote unquote Divas division. But like, I admitted to the point to where Nikki Bella could wrestle. Like, she was the muscle out of the Bella twins. While Brie was, of course, she could fly. Brie did the suicide dive. She was the athletic one. So you can give credit where credit is due, and I agree 100% with Devin. If they were, or Devin or Jeff, whichever one you guys said it, but I think it's set in stone.
Somebody was speaking facts.
Yeah, somebody was speaking facts. Somebody was spitting. But like, if you put Nikki Bella, if you train her with Shawn Michaels, if you put her in the NXT system now, if you have her wrestling now, hell, if you start her with the Women's Revolution, when you put her in reverse, you take somebody out of her position and you have her enter in with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, I think you have a successful career in that. But
facts.
I just, god damn it, it's just like this lady, man, Stephanie McQueen. I was just like, this Vader's still alive.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's just like, she got too many moments, man.
It's so funny. She always, and then remember the Diva show, she always comes out and says she's Mexican Italian. Well, she won't Mexican right then and there. You know what I'm saying? She sounded like
exactly.
She sounded like a white girl at Chili's, bro. She sounded like a white girl at Chili's. You know what I'm saying? Gracias.
I thought she was. I was like, "Is your name?" I thought she was Nikki Garcia like a couple months ago.
Yeah, bro. Yes.
I was floored. Jay Hendry, you guys know the soldiers, Master P.
Come on, man. Of course, Bowdy, and Rowdy.
Nikki got that Diva title record due to WWE being spiteful to AJ Lee. That I definitely agree. I do remember that as well. That, and of course. Where did Paige go at that time? Was this before Paige? Because I know Paige had to beat AJ Lee.
No,
she
was this is after. So she was they were doing the whole transition because she was like an NXT.
Yeah,
and they were making the whole transition run, and then remember, that's when they had like everyone had like a faction.
Yep.
When they brought up Paige, remember Paige had Becky and Charlotte, and then Team Bad. Oh man, I missed that. Oh my gosh,
Team Bad.
Team Bad with Noemi and Sasha and Trin. Oh, I mean
Tamina.
What's her name? Tamina. Sorry, Tamina. Yeah.
Oh,
God, they both start with a T. Too. Trinity, Tamina.
Yeah.
But I mean, they should go. How do you got? Okay, just moving away from Nikki Bella, because I do think.
No, but what was your rant though? You had a rant though.
Oh yeah. Oh god damn it.
Unless we might have simmered them, what our
you might have simmered. Well, just going back on her comments, because she did have a lot to say about Iyo Sky, and because Iyo Sky talked about how influential she is and what she was to the women's division, and people like me were throwing a tantrum like, really, really, but there's truth to it. There's 100% truth to it. So just skipping forth on Nikki Bella's comments through here, and that's the wrong one. I went to the wrong one. But Nikki Bella was talking about her comments to Iyo Sky, and she pretty much talks about her mess up with Stephanie McCare. She said she practiced it for a while, and then as soon as she got up to the ring, she pretty much just slipped and forgot, which, it happens to the best of us. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna be too harsh on you for that. But she pretty much just goes on to say that she has done great work for the women's division, and she felt as though Iyo Sky didn't deserve the flack that she's deserved. And she felt as though maybe it's because there is, a woman aspect to it. Maybe it is because, there is a woman aspect to it. But she just felt like the criticism just wasn't necessary at all. And they don't get it because they're just thinking move sets and they're thinking wins and championships. They don't think the overall picture, and majority of the time it's because they're not a woman. They've never had to fight for what we've had to fight for. And I do agree with most of that. But she then goes on to say they have a lot of impact outside of it. And so, I mean, every word I said last night, I'm proud and I'm grateful because there is an insane amount of talent in that locker room. And we have done great with our athletic ability, and we're doing things in the ring and beyond it as well. So Nikki Bella just pretty much agreeing with Iyo Sky's comments. Any pushback to that at all? Any comments to that?
Is Nikki Bella smoking rocks? Because I don't know where are these complaints about Iyo Shirai?
Yeah, let me see. To start all the way
I've never heard anybody complain anything about Iyo Shirai. So I don't know where she's saying people are saying that like bad things about Iyo Shirai. I've never heard that. I mean,
yeah,
there are some people who troll just to be trolling, but like I've never heard anybody complain about Iyo Shirai.
Yeah, they'll hear about you paving a way because you don't know somebody will make comments. And when Iyo Sky said that to me, but what they don't realize is paving the road isn't just about doing moves and what happens in the ring. It's also what's happening outside the ring and being a woman and going on the vote. But there were, I won't say a whole lot of tweets. I'm not going to say it was a whole uproar. She wasn't trending on Twitter.
Okay.
But there were a couple tweets that were just like, Nikki Bella, influential, inspirational. It's just like, are we sure about that?
Oh, you mean that? Yeah, that part. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The thing is with Nikki Bella is that like there was it was all of them. It wasn't just Nikki Bella. It was like Brie, it was her, it was Maurice, it was Tamina, it was all of them. Naomi, Natty Neidhart, like all of them, like that. The last of the Divas division, going into the next era, like it was all of them wanting to change, So I would say, yeah, that's a little bit delulu, as the kids say nowadays.
Delulu, that's perfect. That's perfect to say because I mean it's I don't know. With Nikki Bella, I'm starting to think when she does like a interview or a promo, something's gonna get jacked up, like
Yes,
Vader.
yes.
You know what? I even know I may say Stephanie's name wrong, so I already know. I'm not gonna sit up here and embarrass myself. So yeah, I think it's really Nikki Bella just being Nikki Bella at this point. Maybe she need to work this into it. Where every promo is just like, huh? Because she, it works. It works very, very easy. I'm sorry. She wanted to shout out. Wanted to shout out my lady friend Samantha. I know you're watching. I didn't want to be. I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You just gonna slide it in there like that?
Yeah,
like you just not gonna just ease it in. Like we gotta make a little special or something. Like man,
I was trying to see. I was trying to see how we could. I was trying to avenue that in.
Oh my gosh! You have to replay that and just look at me and Izzy's reaction. Like, oh, okay,
like, okay, sure, wow, okay. He was just like, oh my god.
I was into what Dev was saying, and then he slid that in there. I'm like, oh.
It's like wow. No, that's hilarious. Huge shout out to Samantha out here. And look, feel free to type in the chat too. We look at every and all chats. So make it embarrassing, please.
He said make it embarrassing.
Jay Hendry says Nikki has been tripping since John Cena married another woman. Devin, a player. Look, player, man. I was trying to look. I understand. Devin
Man,
is
we already know this. We've been knowing that.
exactly like
we've been knowing that.
I had to tell him before the show. I'm like, bro, zip that shirt up, bro. Like, we
Look,
stop. I know you that guy, bro. But like, please.
Okay, Tyrese.
Yes,
Look,
baby.
lady, would you be
Would you be mine?
This is all I got.
For a lifetime.
He always bring up John Cena in outside interviews, man. And I mean, well, they were together for a while.
Hey,
I mean,
he ain't lying. He ain't lying.
Yeah, I mean, they've been together for a while, and she went through something traumatic. Look, I'll happily clown Nikki Bella. I'll happily clown the Bella twins for whatever. But Nikki Bella's gone through a lot in the past year, so I think definitely does deserve a little bit of slack. But at the end of the day,
facts.
John Cena. I mean, John Cena's definitely
he messed up.
Yeah, he definitely messed up. But that was one thing I couldn't stand about the Total Bellas, Total Divas. Like in the background, John. I was like, oh my god, man.
John making all these damn rules. John Cena make all these damn rules. You got to wake up at like whatever just to talk to each other. And then after that we're gonna meet back. Oh man, Daniel Bryan, I love Daniel. That's my guy. And I remember when Brie and Daniel Bryan were talking about it, like, oh, you're gonna meet this morning, and Daniel Bryan's like, no. He's like, no. And and that's another thing too. Too. Daniel Bryan came off more as a real one on that show because he was on there with Brie, He
did.
And the fact, because I mean, listen, I'm not, I don't check out Daniel Bryan or anything like that, but he's not the most good-looking man, For him to snag somebody like Brie Bella, like that puts all these people like, yo, you could do that too. You know what I'm saying?
You can do that too.
You can do that. That's why he literally had his phrase yes, because he made people who are not good looking feel like, yes, I could do that. Yes.
Man. That is the most like, that is not only the most clutch, but that is the most like that's the biggest flex you could ever have. In his WWE retirement speech, they're chanting, yes, Bree says that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, brother, look, you won. Like, this is you.
Yeah,
put him in the Hall of Fame today.
That's why it's called the yes lock. That's what it's called the yes lock.
Yeah, put her in Brie mode, man. I was like, see, I know.
I see what you did. I like that. I like that.
But Daniel Bryan was that guy on Total D. I will give him that. But I did like John Cena though. I like John Cena's rules because I felt like he was reasonable. Like what? Like he would just walk into the kitchen. What are you doing? Like, I'm cooking for you, John. Really? You're gonna cook with stuff on the floor? It's like you're gonna cook with lint on this rug right here,
dude. That man, oh my gosh, it was like a walking he was like a walking hall monitor.
Yes. Yes. When they're gonna be on the phone past 10 p.m. Really?
Yeah, for real? What? Like, all the lights are on. Like, what?
Lights are on. Yeah. Like they're not millionaires. Like they're not millionaires themselves. Like Nikki Bella was getting a bag at that time, I think. Look at Jay Hendry showing the pain and all. Look, of course, talking about the man, the myth, Devin Lee crying. See, you're not like my older brother, Devin. My older brother would have put on the tightest of shirt, man. My brother's one of them guys where he's like a little muscular, but he has the tight shirts to make it, to make it seem like if you bump into him, you disintegrate.
Like, I mean, the thing is, a couple weeks ago it's just the weight.
Oh, yeah, you did have that white shirt. You had that Batista shirt.
Yeah, I was like, they loosen up after a while, but
they loosen up after a while. No, it's a cover now. It's actually a cover from it now.
I'm sure we trying our best out here,
John was a true heel on there. John told Nikki, I am not having kids with you or marrying your ass either. And he stood on that.
Yeah, for real.
And honestly, like,
I mean, that's one way he can ruin wrestling like that.
He can ruin wrestling.
That's what he said. He can ruin wrestling doing that, man. Like, chill out.
Man, there's multiple ways that this man can ruin wrestling. But oh my goodness. If he starts mingling, I know he's married, but if he starts canoodling with anybody in the WWE locker room, we might have to start jumping John Cena. We might have to jump John Cena this year. He might not make date number 18. He might not make these 18 dates. Because ain't no way.
I can't believe it's only 18 dates left.
Right. And it's gone by. It's gone by pretty quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, and I do think we will see John. Like, he's not gonna like retire. Like, we will hear his entrance music at some point in time, years down the line, when he's wanting to host WrestleMania or something. But I definitely am a little, not necessarily heartbroken, but I'm really worried. I'm really interested to see how this is gonna go, because this is gonna be something crazy. Do you think CM Punk's a hypocrite? As we're just jumping around, do you think CM Punk is a hypocrite for taking that blood money, as they like to call it, just?
I'm gonna say no. The thing is, like, they're gonna find some way for him to like go make reason for him to do it, right? Because you see they're already like calling each other out. The promos are getting a little more deep cut. So I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a reason. I mean, look, CM Punk, all you need to do is push his buttons personally. You saw that Drew McIntyre wouldn't stop fucking around, and he took the man's bracelet. You know what I'm saying? And you see how long that feud went. So all John Cena has to do is bring up something personal, and that's gonna be the way that CM Punk is gonna go to Saudi. So
look, my bad, CM Punk. It just looks like I just tripped over some real glass there. It's like just tripped over some real glass over there.
Hey, right? Ooh.
Like, try to start something,
or might bring up. He might bring up something about like how he jumped to AEW and then came back.
Oh yeah,
that type of thing. So I'm pretty sure like there's gonna be ways that it'll be brought up for him to make a reason to go to Saudi.
I remember you also joining in on the show last time. I mean, that promo battle between John Cena and CM Punk, did it hype you up?
Okay, so the first one I thought you guys were talking about was the one on Monday.
Oh, the one on Monday was dope.
Yeah, and so like then I watched the SmackDown one, right? And to me, like it was okay. Do I still compare it to Carter 6? Maybe, but like, because that was the comp that I left. But I think it's starting to build up. Like the promos are starting to build up between the two of them, because they don't have to be real cliche with their promos. They can get personal, just because they have such a story pass, right? So, and I feel like leading up to it, that's the way it's gonna go.
Oh, I do like that.
CM Punk might say something about like being called fake and being called a hypocrite. And then Cena might say something like, well, at least I got real hair,
real hair.
Saying some shit like that, or I at least the fans were always behind me. They never questioned my wrestling abilities, so
right, thanks.
Because the whole like you can't wrestle, that whole thing. So
I do agree.
So I'm pretty sure it's gonna get heated. It's gonna get heated.
That's the thing. It's been so many years. Well, I feel like it has, but it's like so many years of CM Punk, just sitting at home and John Cena popping in when he wanted to. And like I said, with the dynamics of John Cena could just, pull out some, heelish things if he wanted to with CM Punk. And CM Punk's already, he can get some good jabs in on the mic as well. I'm excited for them. I just, like I said, in terms of where we are, I'm gonna be realistic when I look at like John Cena and Randy Orton. I was hyped, but then when I got it, I was like, well, this is John Cena and Randy Orton in 2025. This will also be CM Punk and John Cena in 2025, not 2011, not 2013. But it'll still be good.
So we're watching the Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley 1v1. That's what you're saying? That's what we're looking at here?
What? I'm just saying.
This is Shaq in the Boston Celtics jersey.
Yes, Shaq in the Celtics jersey.
Hey man, Well, at first I was gonna say Scottie Pippen and the Trailblazers, but I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen and the Trailblazers.
Ooh,
I'm telling you, Westbrook in the Rockets jersey. I mean, we can go on all day.
Oh my gosh! Oh my
I thought he was gonna say in a Lakers jersey. I was gonna be like, come on now.
D Rose and Knicks jersey. Like
the Lakers was even worse.
Oh my goodness! I couldn't even want to think. I don't want to think about that. Like Jesus Christ! But this is definitely.
That's how I feel when people are talking about like, Michael on the Wizards.
Mike on the Wizards, yeah.
You know? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that is Michael Jordan on the Wizards. I'm like, it's not Michael Air Jordan, but it's Michael Jordan's social security number, whatever.
But it ain't Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan, like, that's crazy. Like he still averaged 20. It's like, bro, he still averaged 20.
Yeah,
like,
he's still bald. He's still bald, but that ain't Mike though. You know.
Yeah, he ain't swinging on teammates. You know, he ain't hoping you guys win.
He ain't punching Steve Kerr. You know,
right? Yeah. It's like the game was over with here. Jay Henry said, "Does Cena head to the 2026 Hall of Fame class?" I do think they wait a minute before they put him in, but I wouldn't necessarily hate if they did that. Would you guys mind?
I think they already got their top 3 because usually they plan it out. Maybe 27. Maybe 27.
I see 27.
I mean, whatever year it's gonna be, he's gonna be first ballot anyway. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, look at Rey Mysterio.
They think I do something about that show.
Running. He in the Hall of Fame already.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, Heyman, he's still part of a main storyline, and he's in. I don't see why.
Yeah,
but I still say 27 though.
Rey Mysterio, right? He's still in there.
Rey Mysterio,
yeah, man, he's like 2 years removed from the Hall of Fame, and he's still.
That
Hall of Famer.
Look, I mentioned it. I didn't realize how. Yeah, that sure was 2 years ago.
Yeah, he got to get that. Shout out to Dominic Mysterio. Posted on Twitter. Happy Father's Day. There's a picture of him and Eddie. Like, just amazing. Love. This has to continue. Like, this has to keep going.
That's great. That is.
I gotta share something with y'all because at first I thought this was weird until I realized like everybody did it, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this makes more sense. I was talking to a great friend in Arizona, and he was talking about his love for Eddie Guerrero, and he was like, yeah, like I love Eddie Guerrero. Like I actually went to his gravesite, like I went to his tombstone, and paid my respects. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I was like, I don't know if I could do something like that because just particular. I just don't know. Like I love Eddie Guerrero. Like he's definitely one of my favorite wrestlers, but I don't know if I could do something like that. But I wore a Eddie Guerrero shirt, and everywhere I went, I was door dashing in Phoenix, Arizona. Everywhere I went, oh, I like your shirt. I went to his gravesite. Oh, I love your shirt. I went to his memorial. Oh, I love your shirt. And this is like, this man had clout. Like granted, it's Arizona. Like he's where he's from, but like it's like this man had love, and it's like that's just insane to me. Like a lot of people. Of every nationality, race, color, didn't matter. Like gender, they were showing up to pay their respects to Eddie Guerrero, and they still do it to this day. And I just think that's incredible.
No, that's dope. That's real dope. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Eddie. Yeah.
Huge shout out. I don't want to talk about Nikki Bella. Want to do a match with Rhea Ripley? I could care less. Please, I hope you get beat. I hope you do. I hope this match do happen. Matter of fact, it's like,
I can see it happening, but yeah, like you said, we gotta see how can she wrestle now. Because let me tell you, Liv was cooking on the mic.
Liv was cooking. That has been the first time in a while.
Cooking her on the mic.
Yeah, that was the first time in a while I rooted for Liv Morgan. Honestly, like. I'm not the hugest Liv Morgan fan. But
You don't like Liv Morgan?
I didn't like her, and then she started getting a whole lot better. She started doing some great work, and now I'm still trying to. Trying to lean my way into it. I do admit that she's doing great. Like I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to remove my hate. I'm trying to remove the hate still.
I got you. I got you. Like
trying to remove my hate.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I feel that way. It's like I'm trying. It's hard because I feel like it's also bled into because also going to the next guy. It's also bleeding into Jey Uso. Like I love me some Jey Uso. I'll dance with him. I'll do everything imaginable. As soon as that bell ring, I want you to lose. I want you gone. 1, 2, 3. Count. Get him out of here. Your thoughts on Jey Uso? I know he lost the title to Gunther just recently. Jay Hendry actually commented that Kofi Kingston had a longer title reign than Jey Uso. It actually doubled, in a matter of doubled the days that he had in of the reign. So just your thoughts on Jey Uso losing the belt and what's next for him. What do you see?
Yeah, I also want to point out a couple things too. So like I seen that a lot on the IWC, because they think they're smart. They're all comparing. Oh, Kofi Kingston, had a longer title than Jey Uso. I was like, okay, all right. Is that the only person you can think of? Because I remember when Kane got the first title, he only held it for 24 hours, and then he lost it again. Yeah, there's been a bunch of people like that. Listen, I mean, the thing was he was getting his just due for the moment, right, at WrestleMania, right? Like for the work that he put in, for the way that he wrestled, like all the things that he's done, like, yeah, he was getting his reward, which is being a WWE champion, right? Sometimes in WWE, like those people that that are working hard, that the crowd is behind, they don't get that moment, it's very rare. Like you can only speak a couple, like maybe RVD or Sami Zayn didn't get it, but he got that main event with the tag titles, right? Is another one. Kofi is another one, right? So Jey Uso is another one that fits in the same slot. Like we all knew that the title was going to be long, right? We all kind of felt like at some point he's going to have to lose it. But that's how it is. I mean, look at the Toronto Raptors. They won one championship. Where are they now?
That's a fact. That's
right.
A fact.
Everybody loved Kawhi Leonard. Everybody loved Kawhi Leonard, but what has he done lately?
Right, exactly. Absolutely nothing. It's like absolutely nothing.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Like, yeah, they got the championship moment, and that's it. Yeah, it's cool. It's all right. I mean, he's still a main man. At the end of the day, like Jey Uso, it's cool because like he could stand on his own. He doesn't have to be like the tag team with the Usos. He could be main event Jey Uso. Like he's got his own brand now, right? So, and sometimes wrestlers like the big ones, they don't need a title to be like the biggest draw.
Facts.
You got Seth Rollins last year. After he dropped
the
championship,
right,
like he could just come out, just Seth Rollins, Roman.
Exactly.
You don't need the championship again. That entire main event,
Bianca Belair
didn't need the championship.
Bianca Belair is another one. She don't need the women's title no more. She's already solidified.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley needs to sit down somewhere. She needs to go home for a little bit. Like I feel like we've seen a lot of Rhea Ripley, Ripley, and not necessarily saying that she needs to like go somewhere and just be gone forever. Just take some well-deserved time off. That's all it is.
You mean like she's just in a lot of segments? Like she's in a lot of like a lot.
I'm sick of hearing her entrance music. Everybody doesn't need to be saved. Yeah, nobody needs to be saved by Rhea Ripley. She's not everybody's savior. She needs to stop fighting for this title. Like we're just sit down somewhere. You done some great work for the past 2 or 3 years, even after injury. Like just chill. Yeah, like Chelsea Green doing it. Like Chelsea, we're not seeing we're seeing Chelsea Green, but she's not doing too much. And that's one thing I do appreciate. But I do think we are seeing Jey Uso a lot. I do think he needed to lose this belt, man. I feel like he had to lose this title because, like you said, we had the moment. The moment's over with. It's done. You won. Like we talked about Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio won the title, celebrating, bumped into John Cena, turned around like, exactly. Here you go. My bad. That's just how the cookie crumbles, in a lot of these things. So Jey Uso got a month and a half. I don't think that is awful. And he sold some merch. We had a feel good story, and you got the most out of Jey Uso. That's a lot considering the Austin Theories of the world. Considering the other guys out here that have been in that position and weren't able to capitalize or weren't able to benefit off of that. So you got to give a whole lot of credit to Jey Uso. So hopefully he takes the time off that he deserves to, because I'm sick of eating. I'm tired of eating.
Yeah.
I can take a break from eating.
Plus, if you want to look technical, if you want to get technical with it, right? On Money in the Bank in the tag match, remember his ribs and shit got fucked up.
Yeah.
Right. And so in the match with Gunther, he targeted that. So in a way, like, you know, he was already a wounded animal.
Facts.
So
that's a good point.
Because I was like, because I remember watching it. I was like, man, Cody's doing all this cheering, and usually Jay is doing the whole yeet, but you see him like laid out and shit. And because like when they announced that match, I'm like, dang, how's he gonna fight? He was like laid out at the end of Money in the Bank. Like but you know, whatever, it's Jay Uso, you know, Samoan. You know, they eat spam and shit, so it's all good, you know. But yeah. But he was already a wounded animal, so
no, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? What do you guys think about the whole thing?
Well,
With Jey Uso, look, I had more optimistic. I had more optimism. I can't even talk. I had more hope for Jey Uso than some people. Something get fit your whole finger in there. Some people, I looked at the story that they had taken him on since he left the bloodline. Ooses, deuces, all that stuff. So,
oh yeah.
I was when he tossed John Cena out of the Rumble, I figured this is where they're going. I don't see why you would stop. And then I'm like, he already lost to Gunther about like 2-3 times. Yeah, it was time. I don't, I was giving it to SummerSlam, Money in the night after Money in the Bank. 2 nights after Money in the Bank, I guess. But no, I mean I think it was fine. I'm still not a fan of how it probably ended. I would have done just something a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jey Uso had his time with the World Championship. Definitely, I feel like his stature has definitely increased since then. I mean, it's like if you see him in the King of the Ring tournament now, he can probably, how Cody ran Rex Shot through some people. I'm not saying Jey Uso got to squash everybody, but there's some people he'll go up against now, and you won't be like, oh, Jey, he shouldn't be him. I'm like, hey, he's a former World Heavyweight Champion.
Facts.
Respect. With a K.
With a K. There is 2 things I wanted to touch on before we close out of here. We would have to touch on the book another time, because I definitely want to. Usually Devin and Justin go back and forth with the book. Is usually intense. Devin usually chokes it in the second half. The first half is amazing. It's just that second half. Devin just is something that goes on with it. So we would love to bring out the book with you at some point in time later on. But
well, I guess the book, man, I was like, that book hurt him and said, you ain't bringing me out. You ain't bringing me out. And the book just grabbed him. The book probably laying a smackdown on him too. It's like flapping too. It's like that book from Harry Potter that came out the bed. It done snatched him up.
Yeah, like what happened?
Look at this. He snatched him up. They said, get over here. Come over here.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh snap.
Yeah, I was just talking to him.
He said, hey, we doing something different this time. And this love.
Yeah, it said Devin that kicked me out. I was like, what did I do? I was like, it must have been something I said. I can't believe this. But where I was getting at was actually something that has actually been talked about for just a decent bit, and something that honestly me and Devin have been going back and forth on. We argued about it. Devin, correct me if I'm wrong, because me and you talked about this for a minute. Naomi, of course, the Money in the Briefcase holder. Money in the Bank briefcase holder, she could cash in on anybody. Becky Lynch at her press conference at the exit interviews, you could say, came out and pretty much said that her daughter was rooting for Naomi, and she has a big problem with that, because if she thinks she could cash in on me, she has another thing coming. Devin didn't necessarily say that she should cash in on her, but Devin said that it would be a great story to go off on. Do you agree with that? Do you think that could be something intriguing to see Naomi potentially showing interest in the IC champion while holding the Money in the Bank briefcase?
You're not gonna add the venomous quotes that she said to, amplify my reasoning. That was some no context. You make it. Hold on. She said my daughter was in the crowd cheering for Naomi to win, and I ain't like that. That's what Becky said.
That's what I said.
My fault, my fault. But I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm just like. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, look, it's the IC belt. You just introduced it. It's the women's.
Right.
Look, Becky Lynch already. Like, you heard what Becky Lynch said. Like, hey, IC belt, welcome to the big time. It's. Like I said, I wish the same care and handle was given to the United States Women's Championship. But I mean that there's no offense to Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green and that entire vortex. But I'm just saying, the Austin Theory cashed in on the United States Championship. That didn't make no sense.
Right.
It didn't make no sense. But this time we could probably make a mid-card championship cash in make sense. But at the same time, you got the story with Tiffany. All I was saying was, if you put it as an option, I still think it's a viable, strong option to explore.
So I'm not mad at the idea of Noemi cashing in on Becky for like me thinking if I was in her position, like I'm going straight to the world championship. I'm going straight to the world championship. Now, especially if it's on Tiffany, right? And I'm not taking anything away from Tiffany, but if I'm Noemi, I know I could whoop her ass, like with no issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would be gunning for the world championship, but I'm not going to be mad if that's the route that they take. The thing is, like, it's kind of already a story built already, right? Because the daughter's name got involved. You know what I'm saying? The idea that now, even though Becky's not being targeted by Naomi, now Becky is targeting Naomi, right? And I mean, and to be honest, like that might put a little sauce in the IC title feud, right? It's weird though because it's two upper level wrestlers on the mid card.
Facts.
Which is kind of off, right? Because even though
I'm sorry.
Noemi, go ahead.
But see, that's what I'm like. That's how it will. I just my thing is in terms of trying to elevate. Yeah, I just that way somebody could care. Because I'm like, just look at the United States Championship.
You're
right. I guess that's where I'm trying to just. Like I said, she don't have to do it. I'm like, if you want to elevate that, don't. I guess I put it like this. Yeah, it's just like it makes sense when you're like, oh yeah, like when Roman was the main champion, for instance, you knew like Austin Theory winning it, you're not gonna cash in. And who else had it after that when Roman was double? It's just I know that we always been looking at it like, oh, you win Money in the Bank, you're a surefire, world champion. And it's like, okay, what if I already did that? Yeah, it's like, what if I want to be the belt collector? What if I want to be Kenny Omega? Maybe I win Money in the Bank.
True.
I'm just, I'm just like that could be like different motives in terms of why you would go for a mid card championship instead of, I see Tiffany with the, WWE Women's Championship. I've done that. Why not try this? So that's.
Oh yeah, listen, it would be cool because it also would be cool because then it's another thing she could put on her list, right? Because she's already got all those titles. She got the tag right when she was with Sasha. She got the Women's World. Then she come in with the IC Money in the Bank. Did she win? She didn't win the Royal Rumble, right? But she's Andre the Giant holder.
I think so. Yeah.
Andre the Giant or the did they call it the China now or what was it? One of the Royal Rumbles. Like that was at WrestleMania. Remember, like they used to have like a Rumble.
No, it was back what?
Yeah. So she won that. And so yeah, to get the IC would be another notch in her credit. And then TNA women's title too. So
that's true. And that they're linked in, they'll count that in as a world title reign.
Yep.
But that's the thing, though. Honestly, which I don't think is gonna happen. If she does cash in, I might need 2 weeks off. I might need 2 weeks off of wrestling because I'm gonna be hot. I will go like. I feel like if you have the Money in the Bank briefcase. I feel like Edge gave everybody the blueprint. Edge gave everybody the blueprint on how to cash in on this Money in the Bank briefcase and how it can change your life. Like literally can change your life. Big E in the pre-show of Money in the Bank said that he went from a mid-carder to a main eventer overnight, and it changed his life forever.
Yes.
So, and saying that, how is my life going to change by cashing in on this mid-card champion and being stuck in the mid-card when I have a guaranteed ticket to potentially put myself in the forefront, on top of the women's division? That's pretty much my only problem with it. I wouldn't want to settle for less with an opportunity like that.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to create less to be more. But you see what I'm saying? You put me in a hole, and I'm trying to go. Okay, I'm gonna get out this hole. Nah, I'm gonna put some more dirt on you. Get in there, boy. Get in there. That. I mean, that's all. So
I agree with that. I agree with that. But it's like if you're somebody like a Julia, and then you have the Money in the Bank, and then you're gonna go cash in on Tiffany or whoever. Then that, like Big E, it will change you from a mid-carder or a nobody into a somebody, right? But the unique thing with Becky and Naomi is that they're already brand names, They're already like brand name, they're already solidified wrestlers. So it's like it's more for the title than the wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
It's more to build that. But at the same time, I know what you mean. It's like if I was Michael Jordan, I'm not gonna go try to go get the NBA championship. I'm gonna go for the All-Star game MVP, and I'll be okay with that. It's like what?
Right, exactly. You know what? 6 man of the year. I think I'm cool with that. 6 man of the year. Sure.
I
already got 6 trophies.
That sound like you ran out of trophy room. I ain't never heard somebody that was scared of winning. I ain't never heard of somebody that was scared of making accolades. I ain't never heard of somebody first, being scared of being first. Ain't nothing wrong with being first. You then like you said, Izzy. Oh yeah, she made the blueprint. That's fine. What if I want to do my own blueprint? Well, I got to do what he did. Look what he doing now. Cope. I mean, it's just. Well, what I'm trying to say is, shake some stuff. Almost cursed. Shake some stuff up, man. That's all I'm asking. I had this same fight with Izzy for years with Liv Morgan, and look where we at now. Liv Morgan out here filming movies. She out here beefing with Nikki Bella, and we already putting her over Nikki Bella. If she would have been in the same exact doodle spot as she been listening to Izzy.
No, because if she was listening to Devin, she would be fighting for the U.S. title right now. But at this,
wait a minute. Think to go with that on what Devin's saying and what you guys are saying about cashing in. Look at Alexa Bliss. She was lost in that 4 horsewomen era, even with Asuka, but she cashed in on Ronda.
Yeah.
Right. Or no, she cashed in. Yeah, she cashed in on Ronda, and she became a women's world champ. And that totally changed how you look at her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Money in the Bank, no matter what you do, it will change your life. I mean, sometimes for the positive, like everybody, and then you're like Austin Theory, the negative.
So is it going to change Seth Rollins' life once he cashes in?
Seth Rollins? No,
he's already a made man.
They got the
same argument unique for that.
They gotta do
he
something.
Got a group with him. He got Paul Heyman with him. He already beat Roman and CM Punk at WrestleMania. What he need Money in the Bank for?
Well, that's the thing. My whole ideology is Seth Rollins at some point in time. Like, I don't think Paul Heyman is 100%. So I still think Paul Heyman has a master plan behind this. I'm thinking as soon as Seth Rollins wins this title, Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed is hopefully going to turn their back, or hopefully somebody's going to, give Seth Rollins the side eye, like, okay, you got this title, the target on your back now. It's just like, I'm hoping we get something out of that faction. That's just wishful thinking. But
what if he cashes it in and he uses that cash in for like somebody like Braun Breaker to get the pin? Could that work like that or not?
Oh, it's his cash, man.
I was like, Grant, he the one that pulled it down, though. That'd be my argument.
It could work. Braun Breaker could,
but that's all that's what Seth Rollins.
Then again, you got Paul Heyman too, though.
He's trying to build
Paul
them
Heyman. Yeah, but Paul Heyman, I feel probably could, pull some strings somehow to.
Right.
That's all I can think of.
Right. But then I'm like, he worked the contract for the CM Punk in them.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, there's a chance, like, yo, you don't know what's really the contract in this briefcase says, something like that. But at the same time, it's like, well, what if somebody? I don't know. You know, it's like, do you change? But then I'm like, can you change the terms of the contract after you won it? Because what if somebody else? What if LA Knight won it?
What if LA?
Oh,
and LA Knight probably should have won it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like, we sit up here with Seth Rollins, somebody that's already cashed in at WrestleMania, holding the briefcase, and I'm saying Naomi could just cash in on a championship she's never won.
She could potentially win at some point. Do you think Naomi?
I'm just saying it's an option. You was shooting it down, but I'm like, well, look at Seth Rollins. You saying like she's already a made woman. Seth Rollins is already a made man. Why is he holding the briefcase? You could have put Braun Breaker in the match then.
But he has something great. But Seth Rollins has something great going for him now. There's a story behind Seth Rollins that I think you could work with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
You didn't need that to do that. You have the biggest, beefiest man next to you, and you need a briefcase. Roman could never. Get out of here. Seth Rollins is out. He out of here. Roman over Seth. No. Roman ain't need no briefcase.
Roman didn't need no briefcase.
You know, he might need Paul Heyman, but he ain't need.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, how
true.
I just don't think Naomi should put herself in a position where she needs to be put in the mid card. When you have the Golden Goose, you have the it shouldn't be hard for Naomi to get an IC title opportunity. Now, a world heavyweight title opportunity, a world champion title, okay, that's, you know, now you're looking at, you know, what have you done? What have you done for me lately? You know, as the saying goes. But for somebody like Naomi, as you talked about, is already established, I feel like you could get a title shot without having that briefcase. I feel like that's still.
Why haven't she did? All right,
because she been busy. She got you getting jumped by.
I know you're right. No, she had the
What if she cashes in on the AAA women's title?
I wouldn't complain.
Remember, people were saying that for Chad Gable won. Like, oh, what if he, you know, cash in on himself?
Oh, really?
That would have been hard. That would have been hard.
There was, you know, things like that happening. I mean, nobody was like, why would you go for another promotions championship? You know, it's change it up. You know, I'm just throwing some
like what they're doing with Trick. Like, you know.
Yeah, like imagine if AJ was in the Money in the Bank and he cashed in and wanted to be TNA champion. Anything, you know, could have been a different blueprint is all I'm saying with the briefcase. Because I just feel like the briefcase, you're gonna have some years where like somebody has it and they cash in. And like look at last year with Drew, he cashed in the same night, lost it, and it's just what was the point of the whole ladder match then? What was the point of qualifying? What was the point? Look at Austin Theory. He had already won the United States Championship, lost it, and then tried to cash in to get it back. No, I don't. You know, there's some of these scenarios that don't make sense. I just want the Money in the Bank contract if they're gonna continue this trend.
That was a waste. Yeah, that was a waste.
Yeah, like make it impactful, like
make it impactful.
Like it used to be.
Make it impactful. I love it, man. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, go back to Damian Sandow. Remember Damian Sandow won the Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
And he actually had a match with John Cena, but he lost. But like nothing went to, I mean, the next big thing he was Mrs. Stunt Double, remember?
Yeah, and was over as fuck, man. Like
that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Like there was a point in time where he was just an absolute dog. You couldn't deny Damian Sandow, and he just kept losing. Look at those, he just kept losing.
Yeah.
Austin Theory just had propaganda around him. Austin Theory was just like, you know, Vince was just like, "This is our guy." He hit us with that Roman Reigns special. This is our guy. This is my new toy.
Yeah, my name's John Cena.
Yeah.
My latest ruthless aggression.
My latest ruthless aggression is insane. Well, to wrap this whole thing in a bow, we're just gonna go across the street for 2 seconds. Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega. Let's just be honest. Kazuchika Okada is just beating the brakes off of Kenny Omega. Just keep punching him in the gut. And now it's gotten to the point where, first off, I can't stand Don Callis. He get on my last nerves. But Kazuchika Okada off the apron hits him with the elbow drop. Conan. He hits Kenny Omega with the elbow drop. Kenny Omega starts splurting up blood, just starts spitting it all up. And it's disgusting. But they continue to play on into Kenny Omega's, eternal injuries. And I mean, I gotta give credit where AEW, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I usually don't, but it's consistent. It's consistent, and they're making it as entertaining can be.
Facts.
Are you
They are,
sold? Yeah, I was like, are you sold into this pretty much upcoming match between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada?
Hell yeah.
Now, are you someone that have seen all of their matches?
Yes, yeah, I've seen all their matches.
So are you coming in with high expectations, or is it kind of like the same with John Cena, CM Punk? Like we're getting them older.
I usually put myself at low expectations, especially when like this is already 3.
Sorry,
that's
fact.
No, that was good. I mean, he got them diverticulitis issues, so you know.
The diverticulitis. I'm surprised. Look, I couldn't even pronounce it. I was about to say he got diabetes.
No, but yeah.
My God.
Hell no. No, but I my expectations is low just because it's been so many years since the chemistry. They have chemistry, but you know they're different. They're different now. They're not the same as what they were like 4 or 6 years ago. Is it still gonna be good? Yeah. But I don't. My expectations for it is gonna be pretty low though.
Ooh, Devin.
See, coming into it as someone that I haven't seen all their matches. I'll be honest with you. They're me knowing their ages, me knowing this, what I've seen lately, and I just will say, the angle leading into it. I can see, me going, okay, go. I got to see Kenny get back at this dude. I'm sorry, you can't have me on TV looking like that. You just can't do it. So, eventually one day I will go back and watch all 3. But this one coming in and all in, I will say I'm intrigued because I want to see how this plays out with them. That angle leading into it to me did the job for me personally. I want to see Kenny get his get back. So
yeah, there's already a YouTuber doing it. Because me, I'm saying with Devin, I haven't seen a single Kenny Omega Kazuchika Okada match yet. That my plan was actually to do it this week, but my whole thing was like, man, we can review this. We can talk about it, review it, go through this whole thing. There's a YouTuber already doing that. He actually got called out by MJF. I gotta give him some credit there. MJF actually called him out just recently. I was like, he's doing great work. So
I mean, just because he did it doesn't mean that y'all can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, but then I feel like I don't want to jock off nobody. I don't want to be that guy. Like,
come on, man. Nah. I mean, we're all talking about the same thing, just somebody doing it, somebody cooking it differently. You know what I'm saying?
Cooking it differently, yeah.
Right? Like there's chicken, and there's some people have the idea of not seasoning it, while the rest of us season it, and then season it, and then fry it again. That's a
great point.
Okay,
I love that. I love that. That's how I do my fish. That's how I fry my fish. I like it.
Come on.
You gotta take the mugs out, put them back in. It makes it crispier. You gotta put the bread back on.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. See,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what AEW has in store for us in the upcoming weeks. Shout out to Jay Hendry. Surprised that AEW is doing that residency at the dump on the north side, the Aragon Ballroom. Brother, what's with the...
Hey, hold up. Whoa.
I was going along with something else.
That dumb. That dumb.
The north side? Like, why you gotta do that? Like, why I gotta do like that?
What's with the north side hate? What's with the
north side hate? I mean, we got love for the south side. I mean, it's all love in the south side, but we ain't just gonna hate on the north side like this.
I mean, that's gonna have to be off air. That topic's gonna have to be off air, but because there's some north side where you're just like, hey, bro, you too close, man. You're just a little too close. Man. I'll open my own door. All right.
I'll open my own door.
I'll open it up myself, okay? I'll open it up for myself, all right?
Did I just get pit pocket? What happened here? What are you doing? Before we close it all,
no. But no. What about the Oh, my bad.
Oh yeah, oh no, it's all you.
I was gonna say, what about the Mercedes Monet and Tony Storm?
Oh
The Mercedes
yeah.
Monet and Tony Storm. You know,
Uh,
the gotta put me on, gotta put you on. When the drink is too strong, got. She was
I honestly,
almost gonna lip lock that. She was almost gonna lip lock
she's
that.
almost look like that. She was almost gonna, I was almost there, but she's almost
You
there.
know, oh
Like,
man, her mind's telling me no, but her body.
her body. Yeah. Look,
Tell you, man, Tony Storm, whatever saw her, she got the vitamins people looking for, man. Every girl, she got a feud. They gotta kiss her.
That's true.
They gotta kiss her, dog. You know.
Yeah. So in saying that, when is this Sky Blue feud gonna happen? So when is this asking for a friend? When is this? Is Tony Storm Sky Blue feud happening? When is this taking place? Like just for research purposes.
See, I like the way you're thinking. You're like, okay, who's
Who could we pick next? Man?
I like the way you're thinking.
Well, like, I do love me some Mercedes Monet. Well,
Yeah.
love is a strong word. I like me some Mercedes Monet, but I'm rooting for Tony Storm and Hangman Page so hard, in these upcoming weeks.
Okay.
Hangman Page, I'm only rooting for him until he wins the belt. As soon as he wins it, I want him to drop it like immediately. I'm not a fan of Hangman Page. I just don't like John Moxley, but Mercedes Monet is definitely reaching, I would say in my eyes, John Moxley level of just get the hell away from me. Like, I'm exhausted.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Like, I don't think she's horrible. I don't think it's that she's as bad, but man, knowing already the outcome, of her matches when it's already set in stone, her pretty much having that dominance over the AEW women's roster as we've been seeing so far. Even Athena couldn't really fuck with her. It's I'm just done. Yeah, I gave up.
I gave up. I feel you. I feel I'm clowning you, but I'm like I'm in the same boat. I don't know. Yeah, I feel the same way. I want to refresh, but I feel like either way I go, I'm still gonna be in the same thing I've been looking at. So I don't know. It's like I have a PS3 and an Xbox 360, and like I just want a Nintendo Wii at this point.
I feel you though. Like, I definitely see where you're coming from though. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of mid. I like everything that she does, like in ring, right? But I don't know. The CEO thing is kind of like, it's there's some sauce to it, there's some fizzle, but it's not enough, right? But
yeah.
I can't really speak too much negative on her because she was married to an Asian man, and that having a girl like Sasha on our side is like very slim. So I can't be mad. I can't be.
Yeah.
I mean, the last person to get somebody of Sasha Banks' level was homie Rufio, who was dating Ashley Banks on Fresh Prince. I don't know if you remember.
Really?
But Dante Bosco was dating Ashley Banks, the character on Fresh Prince, and he was Filipino. And I was like, see, I could do that too. I can do that too. Like and so
that's crazy. Look, Mercedes, I do remember that too, because Mercedes Monet, like,
I can never be mad.
Jay Hendry. Mercedes is like Larsa Pippen. She's been everywhere and got the top prize. Let's not look. I wouldn't call her Larsa Pippen. I wouldn't put her there. Larsa Pippen, like, you gotta be a dastardly individual to be compared to Larsa Pippen. Maybe Lita in her golden years when she was born with, like, when she had her little storyline. But man, Mercedes, that's crazy.
Look, I think the comparison between Larsa Pippen and Mercedes is like
that's
a wild comparison.
That is tough.
It is.
You talked about sauce. You talked about adding sauce and flair, and that's usually what we get from Devin when he closes out the show. So, Devin, I just wanted to know: is there anything you want to say before we close this show up?
Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Devin Lee Crimes Jr. And sometimes I get a little feisty. I be trying to fight, for my Liv Morgans in the world and stuff like that against, the likes of Izzy. It's a hard fight, but I'm very fit and very prepared to take on this fight. So, any day you want to throw dirt on me and my women's wrestling, we're gonna put our fists through the dirt and grab your legs, sir, and bring you down there with us so that you'll never be alone as well. But I don't know where I was going with that. But I am gonna go and hand it back over to the number one hater in the nation. And I'm not talking about Getcho whatsoever, because I'm talking about Isaiah Jackson Jr. That is the number one hater in the nation. I just didn't want nobody to be, misclarified. Because I'm like,
Nah, you good.
They know, but I just,
All allegations. Shout out Jay Hendry. Great show as always, gentlemen. Appreciate you. And also thank you for sliding on. If you ever want the link to our brother, you can definitely get it as well. Definitely join us and talk to us as well. Just brother, man, we appreciate you for sliding on here. Where can we find you? Where can we find you and the great podcast you do, brother?
Well, I appreciate the invite and everything like that. Next time I'll bring liquor to the barbecue. You know how it is. You can find me on Circle Debate Network. We go live. We'll be going live this Wednesday after the 2.5 hour AEW show. We'll be coming on at like 9:30, 9:35 after their watch long. So check that out. We'll be doing sweaty sessions. We'll be making up our own wrestling drag queen names. So please check that out as well. You can find me there. You can follow me in all the audio platforms. Twitter, get you a podcast on the Twitter. Get your podcast on Instagram. Get your 316 on TikTok as well. But yeah, guys, please. You guys are always welcome on Get Yo. So anytime, y'all let me know.
Oh man, appreciate.
Oh, real quick. We also did a watch along early this morning with Devin and Bakley, where the three of us Dominion New Japan at like 2:00 in the morning. All the way to like 6:00 in the morning. So yeah, so if you want to check that out, maybe skim through it a little bit, But yeah, so it was early. It was early, so it was a fun time though.
That is so great because I woke up at 5 a.m. and I seen you and I thought I saw the Devious one too. I thought I saw Ivan.
He was probably in the chats, but it was.
Oh, got you. I was like, yeah, these guys are soldiers. I was like, I'm going to sleep. I couldn't do it. I was like, man, this is tough. You guys are, and look, they're showing you right there the great work that they do there. They stay up for you. They give you the content that you deserve, the content that you need, the content you crave for. So as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.